I didn't even need that tonight, you guys are already quiet. And that's because we don't have a room full of kids tonight. I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight to our regular monthly board meeting. Appreciate those come out tonight. We have a new attorney tonight, Brian Starrett. Is that right? I think good?
Close enough.
Oh, close enough. Appreciate you coming and taking Elizabeth's place tonight. And we already talked to him about in closed session that the normal procedure is that the attorney don't say a word.
So this is my hazing then.
That's it. Anyway, I always think about this time of year, graduation. It's I don't know, it's a fun time. It's a joyous time when you graduate from high school, but it's always kind of a sad time to me. When I go to a graduation, I sit there and it's almost emotional at times because you think, where will those kids be in 5 years, or will they still be here, or what road they'll take? You just hope and pray they take the right road. And there's so many temptations, you won't be the days of being the cheerleader, the football player, basketball, most of them are over, and that real world shock is kind of overwhelming, but we always keep them in our mind this time of year and all, and hope for the best. And this weekend, I know we lost a student, an accident at Eastern Randolph, Jessica Holiday. And I can't even imagine the heartbreak. And I can a little bit. My wife's sister got killed in a car wreck at 15, and I remember, it's been almost 40 years ago, and I remember that day. It changed our lives forever. Her dad, her life, and it's something you never get over. And even the students today that were in school with her, you see them out, they still mention that. But I just want you guys to keep that family in your prayers and your thoughts, and the students or friends. And when something like that happens, it don't just hit the family, it hits the family, but it hits the whole community. And it actually hits the whole school system. We all think about it. I'm sure Shannon, your daughter and your family and all, and Fred was close to some of the family. We just want you guys to know, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And at this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Burgess, if you would, to lead us in a word of prayer.
Father, we thank you for the opportunity that you've given us here, not just tonight, but throughout the whole school year. As we're kind of wrapping up the school year, just pray that your will be done in the lives of all our students, all our staff members. Pray that you will give us the wisdom and guidance to make the right decisions, both as parents, faculty, board members, and leadership staff. Lord, most of all, we do lift the Holiday family up to you. Also, not just Jessica's immediate family, but also her school family. Pray that you will comfort those that need comforting. Most of all, dear Lord, we just thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. At this time, I'd ask that you stand and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, I'll ask our superintendent, Dr. Danny, to share some comments.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Board members, have a lot going on right now. I want to start by just thanking all our staff members for their hard work in making the 2022-2023 school year another great one. We're ending the year with a lot of end-of-year assemblies and celebrations, from band concerts, chorus concerts, award assemblies, and also capping events at different high schools for seniors. We've already had one graduation ceremony on May 19. The Randolph Early College High School graduation was held at Journey Church in Ashburn. And then Friday night, we have 7 other high school graduation ceremonies, and they are as follows. Eastern Randolph High School, 6 o'clock. Providence Grove High School, 8 o'clock. Trinity High School, 6 o'clock. Wheatmore High School, 8 o'clock. Randolph High School, 7 o'clock. Southwestern Randolph High School, 7 o'clock. And UR Ridge, 612, 7 o'clock. All of those will be on the school campuses with the exception of UR Ridge 612, which will be held at Journey Church. I also want to take a moment, and next month or July, whichever, we'll try for next month if we can. We want to recognize a great group of student athletes, the Wheatmore High School girls soccer team. They finished as runner-up in the 2A level in the state. They played their 2nd consecutive state championship game on Saturday at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Interesting fact about this team is in their last 50 games, they have 49 wins and 1 loss. Just want to congratulate the student athletes on the team, head coach Rick Manus and all of his assistant coaches for another great season, and thank them for the positive manner in which they represented Wheatmore High School as well as our school system. I also want to take a moment and just share something that a lot of people do not know is going on since late in the night, Saturday night, and I want to recognize some people. On Saturday night, some storms came through. Some people didn't see any rain. I saw some lightning, but not the kind of lightning that happened in other parts of the county. But UR Ridge 612, a transformer at the school was hit, and it led to some burning of wiring inside the school. So early morning hours, Larry Chilton and staff were out at school, and worked hard yesterday. Staff did to have school today. I mean, we're not only talking about having school today, it was a school day. We're also in the middle of exams with the high school students at UR Ridge 612. So I just want to take a moment and just say thank you to some people who worked all night Saturday night, and many of which worked all day on Sunday, and others got pulled into it as the day went along. Working with Energy United and BECO, 2 different companies to help restore the power. So school was held today as scheduled. So I want to just take a moment and read some names. Larry Chilton, our Executive Director of Facilities Maintenance and Transportation. Chad Lambeth, electrician crew leader. Jeff Idle, electrician 2. Jonathan Craven, our HVAC supervisor. Robert Owens, regional line manager with Energy United, and his staff. There was a lot of guys there. Robert was the leader of that group. Matt Watson, crew leader for BECO, and his staff. That's an electrical contractor company. Meredith Weaver, director of testing, accountability, and power school. As the day went on yesterday, Meredith was involved as we were looking at what would happen with exams should power not come up or what needed to happen. Also, Michael Sugg, Director of Information Systems, was involved, and particularly at one point, he didn't need power to check into, and then at another point when the power came back up, what did we need to make sure it was running for today? And also, I want to thank Brian Hill, Principal of UR Ridge, for his monitoring of the situation as well. And just thank you. We have a lot of things going on in the school system. It's a big school system, 32 schools. But when you have something like this, it's great to have great people with us. And, to get BECO and Energy United out there in the way they were helping, that also says a lot about the relationships that staff members have built with these different groups. So thank you, Larry. I know you were leading a lot of this, and thank you to all the staff members and all the outside groups who were involved. Finally, in closing, I just want to say, as we end the 22-23 school year, our students and staff members, parents, and sport members have handled the challenges of the school year like champions from day one. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. As a team, you've continued to stick together. And so here we are at the end of another school year. It's been another great one. I want you to know I love each one of you dearly, and not only what you mean to our school system, but what you mean to the numerous communities throughout this county. And again, that's our students, our staff members, our parents, and our board members, because you are make a major impact throughout this county, whether you realize it or not every day. parents trust you with their children, and we do have great benefits from the tremendous communities that surround our different schools throughout this county. So, Mr. Chair, that concludes my comments.
You really mean that you love me? You didn't, I didn't feel it earlier today. I mean, I really didn't when I talked to you. I don't know. Mr. Chilton, as Dr. Gaines forgot to tell you, there'll be a little extra check in the mail for you sometime. You heard that before. Yeah, right. Anyway, we do appreciate all you guys do and everything like that. You couldn't run without you and your staff. I mean, it takes everybody working together. Okay, at this time I need a motion to approve the May 15th, 2023 minutes. So have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those motion carries. At this time, I'm going to call Tim Moody up in the front for our recognitions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cook. Good evening to you, to all our board members, to Dr. Gainey, and to all of our guests. We have 4 recognitions on this evening's agenda, but we're going to begin with a recognition that is not on the agenda. So at this time, I'm going to ask if all of the board members and Dr. Gainey would come up here for a special presentation. The Piedmont Triad Education Consortium, or PTAC, is a collaboration of the 18 K-12 school districts in central North Carolina and the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. PTAC's primary purpose is to provide professional growth opportunities for educators. PTAC recognizes and honors educators who exemplify excellence in education to ensure academic success of all learners. Each year, PTAC selects a superintendent of the year from the 18 school districts in the consortium. The superintendent of the year is selected in May for the following school year and is formally honored at PTAC's signature school breakfast in March. Also, being named PTAC superintendent of the year means the selected superintendent is in the running for the state of North Carolina's superintendent of the year. The state award is jointly presented annually by the North Carolina Association of School Administrators, the North Carolina School Superintendents Association, and the North Carolina School Boards Association. The North Carolina winner then competes at the national level for Superintendent of the Year to be named in February. Well, the Randolph County Board of Education is excited and honored to recognize our very own superintendent, Dr. Stephen Gainey, as the Piedmont Triad Education Consortium Superintendent of the Year for the 2023-2024 school year. Board Chair Gary Cook and the other board members would like to present Dr. Gainey with a special award in recognition of PTAC's selection to thank him for his tireless and unwavering commitment to the students, staff, and families of the Randolph County school system, and to wish Dr. Gainey the best as he moves forward in the State Superintendent of the Year award.
Hey, look, we need to line up for a group picture. All the
Yes,
tall ones in the back.
Get him right in the middle.
I think there's a person in the back. Can you come up and get a better picture? I'm going to share a quick story with you. When we heard about this is a true story. Hey, come up here and get a picture with her. Yes, get a picture. I don't think we've ever had one of these.
A true story?
Yes, a true story. So hold on. I'll finish with you.
I know.
So, Kelly, did you get a picture of me?
I did.
Okay, good. So, I have a visitor from a neighboring county. He comes by my place and says, "Congratulations, I guess you're proud of your superintendent being named superintendent of the year." So I didn't know anything about it. So, I had to find out from a second back, secondhand. And so I called Beverly, she didn't know anything about it. And so, come to find out, I called him, and I said, is there something you need to tell me? I mean, do you want to tell us something? And finally got it out of him, but just to make sure, because he's so secretive, I called his wife that night to make sure he even told her about it. But he did tell Kelly about it. And we appreciate you coming out tonight, but I hope we surprised you.
You did, you did. Good times are tiring, because we would have trouble after you.
But anyway, we appreciate all. That's a big deal.
I want to give you back grass.
It's really,
That would have been better.
it's don't matter where they are.
Okay. All right, so now for the awards that were on the agenda. We're going to begin by recognizing a governor's school student. If you recall, back in April, we had the honor of recognizing 2 students from our school system who were selected to attend the North Carolina's governor's school this summer. Well, subsequent to that recognition, we were informed that 1 additional student from our school system was selected to attend the governor's school, and we had the honor of recognizing that student this evening. As a reminder, the North Carolina Governor's School is a 4-week summer residential program for gifted and talented high school students integrating academic disciplines, the arts, and unique courses on each of 2 campuses. It is the oldest statewide summer residential program for gifted and talented high school students in the nation. The program, which is open to rising seniors only with exceptions made for rising juniors in selected performing and visual arts areas, is located on 2 campuses, Salem College in Winston-Salem and Meredith College in Raleigh, with a maximum of 335 students at each location. Students are selected to attend the North Carolina Governor's School through a competitive process after being nominated by their public school unit or non-public school. So this evening, we want to recognize Hope Rouse from Randolph-Rowan College High School for being selected to attend the 2023 North Carolina Governor's School in the area of mathematics. Hope, if you would, please come forward to receive a Pride and RCSS certificate from our Board of Education, and anyone here in support of Hope is welcome to stand. One more. Congratulations. All right, next up, each year, the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Farm to School program conducts a calendar artwork contest for public school students in grades K through 5. The top 13 winning entries from across the state appear on the calendar. This year's contest received over 3,000 entries from over 60 counties. In addition to appearing on the 2023-2024 North Carolina Farm to School calendar, the selected artwork is featured on ncfarmtoschool.com. All of the winners were honored at an awards ceremony at the State Fairgrounds in Raleigh on May 19. At this time, we want to congratulate Mason Johnson, a 3rd grade student at Hopewell Elementary School, whose artwork was selected to appear on this year's Farm to School calendar. So Mason, if you would, please come forward to receive a Pride in RCSS certificate from our Board of Education. And as he comes forward, anyone here in support of Mason is welcome to stand. And here is his artwork actually on the calendar. Also, I want to give a shout out to his teacher at Hopewell, Miss Corey Cagle. So congratulations. All right. It was last year around this time we recognized this gentleman, and we're going to do it again this year. Connor Carter of Eastern Randolph High School finished in second place at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 1A Men's State Golf Championship at Pinehurst Country Club in Pinehurst on May 15-16. Connor shot a 147 over 2 rounds to finish as the state runner-up ahead of 82 other golfers. He advanced to the state championships after finishing in first place in the Midwest 1A Regional in Thomasville on May 9. This is the third season in a row in which Connor qualified for the state championship, and the second season in a row in which he has finished as a state runner-up. This season, Connor also earned Player of the Year honors in the Piedmont Athletic Conference and tied for first place in the conference tournament. So, Connor, we're going to ask if you would to please come forward to receive your Pride in RCSS certificate from our Board of Education. Anyone here in support of Connor is welcome to stand. Connor, congratulations on an outstanding golf career at Eastern Randolph. Okay, Mr. Hamilton, is Gracie here? Okay, not here, all right. Well, we're going to recognize her anyway, and we'll just have you come forward if you would. All right, so Gracie Bean, I think she's had another award recognition, is that correct? Okay, so what we'll do is close out our time of recognition with another athletic accomplishment that we want to honor. Gracie Bean of Renelman High School finished in second place in the state in the women's high jump competition at the North Carolina High School Athletic Association 2A Track and Field State Championships on May 20th at North Carolina A&T State University. Gracie advanced to the state championship by finishing in first place at the 2A Midwest Track and Field Regional at Mount Pleasant High School on May 12th. In addition to finishing as the state runner-up in the high jump, Gracie finished in 8th place in the state in the women's triple jump competition. So normally we would ask Gracie to come forward. She's not here, so Mr. Hamilton, if you want to come forward and receive the certificate on her behalf. And we'll give a nice round of applause for Gracie Bean.
Nobody wants a picture of it.
Thank you, bud. And if she happens to show up before the end of the meeting, we'll bring her back up here and take a picture. Okay.
Just never
All
just
right.
jump all over here.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
Tim, we'll talk in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, we met.
I wish you could have seen the look on Dr. Gaines' face when I asked y'all to come forward.
I got a
He didn't know what
feeling
was
your check's
happening.
not in the
And
mail.
he's thinking, he said, what is Tim up to? Just know that it was your board chair who inspired all of this.
I met at 3 o'clock, you couldn't give me a hint.
I could have, but I think I would have gotten in trouble with Mr. Cook.
What about, let's see, if you could, just don't blame it all on Tim. I mean, don't you have a secretary?
I was sworn to see, yes, very little.
I mean, oh, you don't even remember that, I mean. Okay. I just lost where I was at. Public comments, we have no one signed up for public comments, so we're gonna move right along to the adoption of the agenda. I need a motion to adopt the meeting agenda.
I'll make a motion.
All right, have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Dr. Gainey, we'll turn it over to you for information items.
He's not going through anything
He's never, ever since he won that award, he's going up to the podium with me another book. I mean, the jury's out on who wins the state superintendent, so somebody's watching him right now.
Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. I promise I will go quick. Okay, board members, I have several information items tonight I want to present. First three are gifts. The first one is a gift on May 22. Justin Pugh, principal of New Market Elementary School, made me aware of a gift from his school for to a school from Robert and Deborah Pugh in the amount of $130. And this was to be used for outstanding lunch balances. I accepted this gift on May 23. This is an informational item due to being $5,000 or less per board policy 8220. The next gift on May 23rd, had an email from Melanie Ritchie, principal of Randall Middle School, regarding one of her clubs, the Girls Who Code Club at school, their receipt of a donation of computer science and robotics supplies. The donation was made by the Girls Who Code organization and it had a value of $500. I accepted this gift on May 23. And again, this is an information item since it was $5,000 or less per board policy 8220. And then the final gift came on May 9 from Bruce Carroll, principal of Wheatmore Middle School. His school received a gift from the Summit Insurance Agency in Winston-Salem in the amount of $300. This will be used for outstanding lunch balances at school. I accepted this gift on May 9, and this is an information item due to being $5,000 or less per board policy 8220. So, board members, those are 3 gifts that have come in since our last meeting. Okay, the next item I want to talk about in a few minutes is the next information item on the agenda, which is the Virtual Academy at Randolph. I just want to share some information. If you remember, I presented a study to you at the May 15 board meeting, and I want to follow up with that a little bit on some information that's developed in the last few weeks. To begin with, May 15, I gave you some enrollment figures for the school. First was I had May 1, there were 54 students enrolled for the 23-24 school year. And I also that night told you from the time I finished my study with the May 1 number that by May 10 it had jumped to 59. So I'm here to tell you some other increases that have happened since that night. As of May 17, the enrollment for 2023-2024 school year had jumped to 70, and 24 of those students, 34.3% of those students, will be new students to the school next year. By May 24, the enrollment had jumped to 83, and 31 of those 83 students, or 37.3% of those 83 students, will be new to the school next year. And then as of last night, there are 86 students enrolled for the 23-24 school year, and 34 of those 86, or 39.5%, will be new to the school next year. Now, board members, I do want to go back and correct something. I sent you an email on the 24th of May, and when I told you how many were new out of that 83 on the 24th of May, the number was off. I think I reported 26, it was 31 at that time. But even so, now it's 34. The total enrollment is 86. Also want to give you another little piece of information that tells us about more potential. So I'm telling you on June 4, last night, it was 86. On May 30, it was 85, but there were 11 additional potential candidates who had paperwork had not been completed. So if you take one of those to get us to 86 by last night, I think we've got 10 more that are at least out there to get us to possibly 96. Don't know. We don't know what happened today, but just wanted to share that's a pretty strong improvement from May 10 of 59. We've gone up 27 to get to 86. So did a little bit more some conversations that happened throughout the last couple of weeks. I want to share some more information I looked into. And I appreciate Ms. Carter for when talking with her and asking for this information. There were 4, in the first year the school was open, 21-22, there were 4 in-person events, and I can share with you what those were in just a minute. But this year that number increased to 6. So one piece about it is 4 to 6 isn't a big increase, but obviously as we got past the pandemic and less restrictions are in place, see the door opening for more of that as we move forward possibly. Again, it is a virtual school, but I'll give you some ideas of what they had. Open house was in person. This was the first year, 21-22. Students and parents came into the building, met staff, paid fees, completed paperwork, purchased a t-shirt. They had a festive fellowship. Students came into the building for a holiday activity and snack. That was in December of 21. This is the first year the school was open. And then students came into the building that first year in May and June for EOG testing for grades 3 through 8. And then the last day of school in June of 22, they had students on campus signing yearbooks, returning supplies, and getting a summer sweet treat. So you go to this year, 22-23, they again had open house in person. Parents came into the building, students paid with their children, they met staff, paid fees, completed paperwork, had a chance to purchase t-shirts. They also came into the building for NC check-ins. They had 2 spirit nights, so you know when I say 6, now, sorry Ms. Carter, because I should have counted, it's probably actually 7, I didn't see, I wasn't thinking 2. They had 2 spirit nights at Zaxby's, like all the other schools, like they have these nights where a portion of whatever is sold goes to the schools. Of Zaxby's in Ashboro. They also had the 3rd graders, they won the March Madness engagement contest and came to the building for a pizza party. And then they also have had students coming in for the EOGs in May and June, and then end of May and early June. And the last day of school, they will have students in for signing yearbooks and returning supplies and getting a summer sweet treat. So actually, it's, I think you probably could say 7 instead of 6 there. So there's opportunities there. So looking at some things we talked about last month and where the school is, I mean, that is a 27 is a pretty strong jump in the last couple of weeks. So I would recommend a couple things. One is that we shift our focus as leadership of the school system from the longevity of the school to promoting the school. And see what happens as we go into 23-24 with some more promotion of the school, working through with staff and with the Public Information Office, see what we can do to continue to increase that enrollment. Because if you remember, the 4th reason for opening that school was we did go after that school because there are students who that is aligned with their learning styles and their strengths. Another recommendation would be we look for additional in-person activities to try to increase the culture of the school and the development of the school moving forward. You know, it's a different school. It's a virtual school. It's not an in-person school. But I think you can see there's plenty of enthusiasm with staff. As you see, staff is here tonight, principals here tonight, and so my recommendations would be, that's why it's an information item tonight. My recommendation would be, let's change our focus on promoting the school versus looking at the longevity of the school, and let's look at maybe what can we, are there opportunities, other additional opportunities for some in-person interaction between the children and the school and the children and the staff. So wanted to bring that to you tonight. We will start working with Ms. Carter on this, staff will, and involve the Public Information Office more than probably has been at this point, and we'll go from there. Obviously, like I said, sounds like there's a potential 10 more of packets that are out there, and there may be more by now, but this was the number I had in one of my latest reports. So that's getting you on up towards that 900, it's up to 100 number. So I'll answer any questions you have.
I like to say I appreciate the changing the focus to promoting instead of people thinking that that's something we might consider as closing, because that paints such a negative picture. And I think a school like that, I mean, not everybody's set up to go in the public setting and all, and I think we're promoting it correctly, you know, stepping it up. And I think about, I know you and I had a conversation when I missed the last meeting, but I heard you talking about it, I was thinking about the sign behind me. I mean, you know, students first in all we do. And I think if we looked at any other approach, we would be letting down right now with 86 students, and I don't want to be a part of doing anything like that. I mean, it's just, you know what? I know a couple kids there that they could make it if it weren't for that school, and personally. And I do appreciate you coming out tonight, and for my part, I think, from the whole board, I mean, that's a good approach. I mean, let's do it right, let's promote it and make it work. And I mean, because I think, like Sharon and I were talking the other day, it's like, I don't think a lot of people, I mean, they knew it during the pandemic, but I think they lost the fact that, and that probably falls on us a little bit, because we didn't hit it. I mean, you know, like I told you, we talked the other day, I mean, that'd be a great place, and you go out with one of your videos and say, you know what, we got something special in Randolph County, you know, and we can all do a better job of selling it. And I'm excited. I think, to me, there's no excuse that thing shouldn't be over 100, with as big as Randolph County and all. I mean, you got so many you can target. I mean, homeschool kids, I mean, why in the world would you want to buy into something like this? I mean, I just don't, it's like it would make a whole lot more sense and be so much easier on the parent. I don't, they just gotta get it out there. Look, homeschool, we got something special. Just give us a chance, you know, and hopefully, anyway, I appreciate it. Anybody else want to comment? Please do.
I mean, I agree with Gary, and I think the whole promoting thing's gonna be the biggest issue. I mean, we can't get complacent, and I'm gonna be the dead horse. We got complacent at UR Ridge. That school has never grown like it should have. And if we're gonna do this virtual school, we're gonna have to promote it. And if you don't promote it and build it up, we're gonna be back here a year from now talking about it again. So if we want this, we gotta do our part, the staff's gotta do their part in promoting it. Cause I tell you, I've gotten beat up over UR Ridge for years now. And I'm not willing to sit here and get beat up again for stuff not being promoted the way it needs to be. And that's just from my heart and what I went through. And like I say, it's gonna be on us, it's gonna be on the staff of the school, and it's gonna be on our administration to do this. And that's just where I'm coming from.
Dr. Gandy, you know, any idea how we went from 54 to 86 over the last month? I mean, is it just a little bit of timing of, you know, next school year there to sign up, or is it anything we did for it?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, last board's meeting, or last month's meeting, put some information out there, and you know, I would think maybe that helped some. I don't know. Maybe it led to, if you've got a packet, we need this in here, we need it in, let's, you know, because we can only go off real numbers. It's not how many packets got picked up, it's how many were completed and turned back in. So, you know, it's kind of like, it even goes back to the conversation last month. I think having the conversation about 54 or 59 students being enrolled in September or August, late August when school started, I think that's too late. So, you know, I'm not going to say what caused it, but I'm glad it happened, because there's 27 we didn't have enrolled.
They're saying 34 of 86 are new.
Don't, you know, I hope people don't just think I'm beating this up. Because I, like I say, promotion's the key. I would watch, ask for a hybrid academy, which is part homeschool, part in person. it's in my district. I've seen how it grows because they promoted. They really got out and promoted. That school doubled in size this year. It's because the parents who were involved in it, they promoted it. That's where we gotta get the parents who were involved in this last year. We gotta talk to them, have them promote it. Like Gary said, you got all this homeschool out there. Like you say, it will make it much easier on
It would
parents.
be so much easier.
So much easier. And
They would
I-
learn
I'm
so
all
much
for it.
more.
Because we've
Most
learned,
parents.
I mean, we've learned at our last board meeting, traditional school's not for everybody. I mean, you got, handicapped kids, learning disability, they feel better in that home environment. But that's what we got to do. We can't drop the ball on this. We want to see it grow.
It does feel like, as far as on a statewide level especially, it seems like we're heading toward I guess an era of more school choice, good, bad, or indifferent, whether we like it, whether we don't like it, whatever. It does seem like we're headed toward that. So I do think we have something special with the virtual academy where it does give us a little bit of a school choice there. And I'm very glad that Waddell and everyone that kind of was instrumental in getting it started, 3 years ago, I guess. Or at least when we first started talking about it, was 3 years ago, I guess. So, one size fits all education doesn't necessarily work. And I wish we could adapt not just the virtual school, but a lot of schools into how students learn. I know that our staff members are kind of charged to do that still within the parameters of what they're given from DPI, and so I think it does give us a little bit we can do there. We're not a charter school. We don't get to choose who we accept. And so I think it's an opportunity to where, through the promotion and through whatever, I think it's an opportunity to do something special with the virtual school. And I would certainly like to see us do everything we can to keep the charter school. I mean, well, all right, don't put that out there. But ours is keep the virtual school. Yeah, maybe we can do it with the charter schools parameters, that'd be even better.
Yeah, like Mr. Burgess said, I mean, I know you read everything that comes out of Raleigh, and like you say, school of choice being pushed. It'll help something grow Randolph County schools by having this. I'm for it. You've done the right way.
What I'd like to do, if we could, like, maybe every 3 months or something, if you could,
At least get recorded.
yeah, if we go back and talk, where are we now? I mean, what have we done from our end, county, from here? What have we done down here to help promote this? If we, how many times have we, we hit it on social media? Do you have like a, I guess, staff down here that goes out and, I know it's a lot on the school, but.
That we'd handle that through the public information office.
Okay.
The public information officer.
So you got, no, nothing against you, you didn't know, but the new one coming on, I guess she's got her first assignment is, hit the virtual academy big time, virtual school, hit it and run with it then. That's, we need, her, Fred, don't you? So we need to call her tonight and say, look, you have an assignment to start with. Yes, that's it. Anybody else?
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys, the staff and all coming out tonight too. It's a lot easier to do something looking at faces than no one here, but we appreciate you all coming out.
So I think Gracie's here now, is that correct? We're going to recognize you twice tonight. We've done it once already. Dennis, you have to give up the certificate. You have to give it to Gracie. Well, Gracie, if you want to go ahead and come forward, we'll take your picture. So let's give a round of applause for Gracie, please. Board member want to come forward?
Sure. Me.
Yes.
You
If you take them this far though. You're welcome to take pictures. If you want to come up and take a picture, you can do that. Guys?
So Grace, when you, Grace,
Oh, we got it.
Grace, when, a while ago, when Dennis accepted that for you, he jumped over this. So, yes, he jumped back over that one, so we wanted, if you wanted to copy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna move to the curriculum and instruction, Ms. Waddell.
Good evening, board members. Tonight I bring to you several grants. The first grant is from the North Carolina Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council. It is the Go Outside grant. It was received by Coleridge Elementary School in the amount of $1,755, received on April the 10th to provide students the opportunity to attend Camp Caraway for outdoor science activities. And Holly Craven, who's a 5th grade teacher at Coleridge, was responsible for submitting the request. The next grant is also a North Carolina Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council Go Outside grant. And it was received by Franklinville Elementary School in the amount of $1,650. The grant was received on April the 10th and will provide funding for students to also go to Camp Caraway for outdoor science activities. Sharon Bridgman, a 5th grade teacher, was responsible for submitting this request. The next grant is a grant from the Farm Bureau going to John Lawrence Elementary School. They received this grant, the Farm Bureau Going Local Teacher Grant, in the amount of $500. The grant was received on March 1st and provided funding for a raised garden bed for students to learn about plants and soil. Kara Pack, a 1st grade teacher, was responsible for submitting this request. The next grant is another grant received by Coleridge Elementary School. It's the NCAE Mini Grant in the amount of $500. The grant was received on April the 17th and will provide funding for A through Z graphic dividers that will assist students in locating books in the media center. Wendy Baldwin, who's a media specialist there, was responsible for submitting this request. The next grant is a Donors Choose grant received by Randleman Middle School in the amount of $605.75 on March the 3rd, 2023. The grant will provide books and items to create learning stations. Morgan Cranford, who's an 8th grade teacher at Randleman Middle School, is responsible for submitting this request. Another Donors Choose grant was submitted by Randleman Middle School in the amount of $569.22 on March the 3rd. The grant will provide sets of headphones for students. Lindy Kirkman, who's a 5th grade teacher at Randleman Middle School, is responsible for submitting this request. And finally, the Randolph County Association of Educators grant was received by Southeastern Randolph Middle School in the amount of $250 on May 26, 2023. The grant will provide funding to purchase writing journals and pens for students. Crystal Booth, who teaches 8th grade at Southeast Middle School, was responsible for submitting this request. Are there any questions about the grants?
Thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Thank you. A lot of grants. Good stuff. Good stuff for our schools.
Okay, at this time, I need a motion to approve the consent items.
I'm gonna
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, we're gonna move on to the action items. Dr. Gaines.
Okay, give me a second, board members. Okay, board members, the next item I have on the agenda, action item is, on May 16, Anthony Gross, principal of Northeastern Randolph Middle School, made me aware of a gift given to his school by Forsyth Ready Mix in $14,000. He is going to use this money to purchase a covering for the school's gym floor and the necessary accessories, which will most likely, based on what I remember him saying and what I'm aware of and my involvement with this type of purchase, is there's probably a cart that will reel the different pieces of the cover up and be able to store it. I accepted this gift on May 16. The reason it's action tonight is because it's more than $5,000 in per board policy 8220. This requires board approval. The other items were board information items, but this requires your approval for Anthony to move forward with using this money. So I'll bring that to you as a recommendation tonight, and please approve this gift.
So we need a motion to approve the acceptance of the gift given to Northeastern Randolph Middle School.
What, was it given with those stipulations as far as that's what had to be used?
Yes, that's what I have from the moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna look back here. The gift's intended, yes. So that conversation must have been going on when they were giving the gifts. All I can think of is purchase.
Okay, so we have the motion, have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
No.
Opposed? No. All right. And we'll move on to Delbert.
I think that's expensive. $14,000.
Good evening, board members. The Randolph County School System has been approached about naming the Eastern Randolph High School wrestling room after Greg Harden. During his tenure, Greg Harden served as a track coach, teacher, state champion football coach, and state champion wrestling coach. Under his leadership, his wrestling teams and individual wrestlers acquired numerous state titles, conference titles, and multiple recognitions, which are noted on the attached memorandum. The request is to name the wrestling room Greg Harden Wrestling Room. This request was initially presented to the Board of Education on 5/15/23. Therefore, action may be taken on this request tonight per Board Policy 9300, naming facilities. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have about the naming request.
So, no longer employee of the school system.
How many years was he there? All the time?
Was there a long time?
It was a long time.
He was there when I was there, so that was a long time.
He was there when I was there. He's a lot older than me. It was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right, okay.
It's like
He was there when I was there, I was there a year
It
before.
was a lot of years between them.
20, it's like 24 years
It was
there.
85 to 2009.
Yeah, 24 years,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did they ever name anything after you there, Tracy?
Nah.
They
They might name,
It was a stall.
they might name
Stall.
the highway after the arrow pointing towards the farmer.
Okay.
I'm making a motion.
All right, need a motion to name the wrestling room at Eastern Randolph High School as Greg Harden Wrestling Rooms.
So
Make a
moved.
motion. Have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you, board members.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
Me. The Randolph County Board of Education will enter into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute and to preserve the attorney-client privilege to discuss confidential personal matters protected by North Carolina General Statute 115C-319, and to discuss confidential student matters if needed, protected by FERPA.
All right, you have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're in closed, all opposed, we're in closed session. We need a motion to approve the certified personnel report.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? We need a motion to approve this class of, no, excuse me. We need a.
These glasses.
That's not on there.
You did certify, so you're gonna pass it.
Yeah, we need a motion, it's not on there, you threw me. We need a motion to approve the classified personnel staff. We didn't have much money, did we? Come on, Gary, get your hand on. I need a motion to approve the administrative appointments.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is the first time we've ever had classified, did we? Yeah. See,
We have no class.
I wish you'd have pointed that out to me. We need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Opposed? We're finished. And then the reason